Actually, Art, as I'm saying this out loud, we're going to have to change P squared to like P to the fourth power. There's always a payoff. It's either you win or you learn. The only thing you can do that's wrong is to make the same mistake twice.
Let's go.
What's up, guys? It's your friend, the Chris Donaldson here, and welcome to another episode of the Chris Donaldson Project. We have some unfinished business to discuss, and today we are finishing off the 4 steps that you need to repeat, that you need to know, that are actionable to get unstuck and to the next level. As always, I am joined here by my producer, the man behind the ones and the twos, my DJ, if you will, Mr. Art. How are you today, my friend?
I'm well. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. As usual, we are kind of recording the podcast towards the end of a busy day here at Donaldson Companies. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of excitement, a lot of me just playing CEO and manager. So some good, some bad, but it's always good to get in here in the studio and focus on you guys and how I can help you. So thank you guys for joining us. Art, thank you for being here and putting up with all the schedule changes, because that's kind of the way we roll. But look, a couple of things. One is we're supposed to have some swag coming in, right? Like some hats and some things like that. What's the story?
Yeah.
Where are we at?
Orders sent. It's all getting embroidered and getting sent to us.
How long does this take, man?
So back when I was doing the hat company thing, it took a couple weeks for it to get all done. Yeah.
I'm ready, man.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
They're going to look cool.
Good. So if you guys are listening, if you remember for a few episodes, I was wearing the blank hat. There was no meaning to that other than typically when I'm in here in the audio studio, I like to throw on a hat. I've been wearing one since I was a kid. I was a baseball player and a golfer. I'm just comfortable in a hat. So Art, I'm excited to have my my Donaldson hats and our podcast hats and all these things so that I can wear them. And maybe we'll have enough to give away. So hopefully they look good. I'm getting impatient. All right. So if you guys are new to the podcast, first of all, welcome. Thank you for stopping in. And I can assure you, this is 100% centered around you. My entire goal here with the project is to explain that I've got unfinished business. I am unfinished business as a person, as are you, your business, your goals, and what you're trying to get out of your life and out of your business. So what we're going to do here is we're going to try to help you. We're going to teach you some things that we know, some models that you can follow, some advice that's actionable that you can take and use both in your life and your business. But the second thing is we're also going to take you along the journey as we mess up. And if we do things right or wrong or lessons that I've learned in the past, part of the goal here is to try to save you the aggravation and the pain, teach you the lesson that I learned, so hopefully you could skip over that step and get to the good part. So if you've been listening along, this is the culmination. This is step 4 in a series of 4 episodes where I have basically unveiled the simple but actionable strategy that I have used in order to get unstuck and to the next level. So if this is the first podcast that you're listening to, just make sure that you go back and you listen to the first 3 episodes in this series, step 1, step 2, and step 3, because step 4 is not going to make as much sense if you haven't done the first 3. So it's a series. It's designed for you guys to listen to in succession, to listen to together. That's why they're kind of short and sweet and to the point as much as we can make it. So if you're popping in for the first time, go back and start with, I believe, episode 5, 6, 7, and 8, which introduces the steps, then the first 3 steps, and now we're on step 4. But one final call to action and reminder, while we're in the middle of this series, we are looking to help give away some Amazon gift cards, some value to you guys so that you'll be able to download the book that you want to read, that you'll be able to buy the book or the course or the information. So in other words, we want to take out, I can't afford that book that you told me I need to read. Well, we'd like to take away that part of the formula from you. So Art, if you can remind the audience, there's only 3 things you need to do to be entered to win. And again, this is the last episode, and we are going to announce the winners on the next podcast, which will be episode 10. Perfectly. So Art, what you got to do to win? Just 3 things, right?
Yeah, to get those gift cards, you need to subscribe to the exclusive VIP email list at thechrisdonaldson.com. Leave a 5-star review on iTunes and tell us what you think about the show. And share any post from Chris's Instagram at thechrisdonaldson and tag him in it.
There you go. 1, 2, 3. And by the way, just to let you guys know, if right now you're listening on your phone, so wherever you are, if you got the podcast downloaded, you got it fired up, you're on your phone, if you want to join the email list, we've got a really easy way you can do that. All you need to do is text the word project. Text the word project to 444-999. So if you text project to 444-999, all you've got to do is respond to the magic robot in your text box that asks for your email address, and boom, you're on the email list. So now that solves number 1. Then all you've got to do is go to iTunes, and then if you do so, you also, in addition to winning, might find yourself as the review of the week. So this week's review comes from Joe Sold It. And Joe Sold It leaves us a review on the podcast, which states that Chris brings it every episode. Love his energy, his passion, and his commitment to excellence. Keep it up, my man. Well, Joe, thank you. I appreciate it. And trust me, I have no plans of stopping now. So guys, if you want to get a call out, if you want to be entered to win, if you want to be a part of what we're doing here, make sure that you follow the 3 steps. And that's all you've got to do to be able to win. But of course, always, let's be a part of the community here, because there's no ask, there's no catch. We're doing this entire project for you guys. So I appreciate you, Joe, and everybody else. Thank you for listening. Let's get on to step 4. So the previous 3 steps, if you guys have been paying attention and hopefully been planning your action or getting to it, the first one is to learn. The second one is to execute. The third is to analyze, which keeps you accountable. The fourth is what we are referring to as P squared, which is you're either going to profit or pivot. And this is the payoff. So it really could be P to the third power. This is the payoff. So what we're talking about here, guys, and especially just as a reminder, this is a simple process, as you can see. 4 steps: learn, execute, analyze, profit, or pivot. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, repeat, 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 repeat. And the reason is because I personally was struggling getting over certain humps in my life and in my business, the things that I was trying to accomplish. And the more information that I saw out there, the more advice that I sought, the more things that were told to me, and all of these things, I started swimming around in confusion, and I couldn't figure out how to move forward. So I had to simplify it for myself. And in simplifying it, it sort of just accidentally became this 4-step process that I use to this day. For instance, if we're trying to grow a division of our company, if I'm trying to get my fitness on point, if I'm trying to get better at bow fishing, for crying out loud, it's a 4-step process. I got to learn. So immerse myself in that knowledge. I've got to learn the new skill, read about it, train, understand what to do. Second, I've got to do it. So that's the action step, is to execute. Because guys, if you don't execute, it doesn't matter what you know or what you've learned. Third, I've got to be tracking my progress so that after 90 days, I can analyze whether it's working or not, what's working or not, or take a look at what I've accomplished. And then by analyzation, by analyzing the information, so tracking what I've done, I'm either going to notice, hey, I'm getting results. That's profit. Like literally, it's making me money, or I'm losing weight, or I'm playing better. Holy cow, this thing's working. Or there's pivot. And pivot doesn't mean quit. necessarily, it doesn't mean to cut yourself off. What pivot means is that you're going to take the information when you analyzed, and rather than profiting, you might need to change up what you're doing in order to get the results that you seek. So we've been talking a lot about business and warning and caution. I am not a personal trainer. I am not a doctor or a dietitian, but I'm going to use the example of health and fitness because it's an important pillar to me that got me over the hump that I stick to this day. So this is all just another example that hopefully you guys can stick to. So if I set out with a goal, right, very specifically like, hey man, I've got to lose 20 pounds. This is not going to work for me. I don't feel good. I don't look good. I don't fit well in my clothes. And by the way, I'm just going to share with you guys, if you don't feel good, you're not going to perform at your best. You're not going to look your best. You're not going to be as confident. It's always going to matter what kind of shape you're in. So I just want you guys to understand that. So it's important because, look, also there's the long-term health effects. I mean, I'm not going to go on the diatribe of why you should be healthy. But if we're using the 4-step method, the LEAP method here, the first thing is I need to lose 20 pounds. I need to learn what I have to do for that to happen because it's a formula, right? Your body in some way, shape, or form is a mathematical system. Calories in, calories out. And again, second warning for all of you fitness freaks and experts and bro science guys out there, I'm not sitting here telling you that I know anything. I'm using it as an example. Second warning, all right? So it's calories in, calories out, which means that if I'm going to lose 20 pounds and I'm committed to 90 days of action, well, I've got to learn. I've got to read, or maybe I have to go to a professional to tell me what my diet and exercise plan is going to be, right? Learn what I need to do. Oh, wow, I can only eat, I'm making this up, 1,800 calories a day, and it's got to be this much fat and this much carb and whatever the case may be. And I know there's a million different diets out there. And by the way, this is the point. You don't know which one works unless you put one into practice for a period of time and analyze the results, right? So just the other day, as an example, I was listening to people argue about the ketogenic diet versus the normal protein-heavy carbohydrate diet. And I'm not an expert, but one of the things that I picked up from that is they both can work for you if you stick to them correctly. Plus, different things work for different people. So using our example, you go to your dietitian or some expert, they say, look, you can only eat 1,800 calories. It's got to be these macros, and you've got to work out 4 times a week, and here's your exercises. Now you've got your plan, right? You've spent the time, spent the money, read the book, gone to the expert. Now you know what to do. That's learn. That's step 1. Now, step 2 is the hardest one. I shared with you guys. This is the one most people don't do, which is execute. And I challenged you to execute, to commit to execution for 90 days, which means I get this new diet and exercise plan. Just suck it up and stick to it for 90 days. You don't know if it's working a week in. You don't know if it's working 2 weeks in. And I've known people, both myself, but everybody's body and situations are different. But certainly, depending on how out of shape you are, it might take longer to start seeing results. So you've got to track for a period of time that's reasonable. Same thing with business and a marketing plan or a new skill or whatever it is. So let's say 90 days. Now, that's where the tracking comes in. Because when you get to the third step to analyze, I should be able to look on the app on my phone or the journal that I've been keeping or wherever it is and see, okay, 90 days, did I actually stick to the diet? Did I actually go to the gym the 4 times that I was told to do? And then what do I weigh? How do I look? Is this working? Follow? So at this stage, I know whether I am profiting, it's working, and I need to double down and keep going, or if it's not working, then I may need to pivot. As an example, for most people, the reason this process works and the reason a lot of people don't do it is because step 3 keeps you accountable. Because if you look back after 90 days and you realize you have not written anything down for half those days, you're BSing yourself. You know you shouldn't see results because you didn't do the work. Now the pivot would be, got to start over. So what I want you to understand is you can't say this diet doesn't work until you give it that 90-day period. You can't say this new marketing campaign, oh, that doesn't work, right? Realtor friends, you ask somebody, oh, dealing with for sale by owners doesn't work. Really? You tell me, when have you done it? Why doesn't it work? Show me the proof, right? Have you done it for 90 days? Did you call on them or whatever for 90 days and you could show me your book and go, I'd made thousands of calls and visits and knocked on doors. Most of the time, we know the answer. So that's why it's really 3 steps. The 4th one is to know what to do, which is you're winning, you're profiting, you're getting what you want, which means keep going, double down in some cases, or pivot, which means adjust. So for instance, if it's your diet and exercise, let's say that you were sticking to your plan. Let's say that you did. You never missed a workout. You did your diet exactly the way the dietitian told you to do it. And you're like, I haven't lost a pound. Well, go back. Go sit down with the expert, find out what's going on. For instance, if you're new to diet and exercise and a lot of you are going, muscle weighs more than fat. So maybe you're so new to it, you don't even realize you're in way better shape and you weigh the same, because your body composition is changing. So you got to know what you're looking at. Or if it's truly not working, you may want to go back to read more materials, try a different plan, shock your body in a different way. As an example, okay, this exercise and diet plan didn't work. Maybe I need to try a different one for the next 90 days. Adjust my calories, adjust my macros, adjust my workouts. You see, that's the whole point. It's so freaking simple. That's why it works. It doesn't have to be complicated, because guess what? What you're learning might be complicated. What you're supposed to execute might be some fancy new marketing deal, right? But the process needs to be simple for you to be able to do it. So for me, it's these steps. Learn what to do, execute for a period of time. So commit for 90 days, then analyze based on the tracking of what's happening. Is this working? Should I keep going? And then the decision comes, which is pivot or profit. Guys, this is the payoff stage, man. This is the fun one. So again, I'm using fitness as an example, but for all of you guys, whether you're in real estate and you're trying to prospect, man, for 90 days, stick to it. Stick to it. Because the one thing I'll tell you in business, as in most things, most people give up just a moment too soon, because they don't understand the cycle that you're setting things up for down the road. Most people give up, just a split second too soon. So don't let that happen to you. So again, thank you for listening to the podcast. And I hope that, as simple as this is, you write it down, LEAP, and you go, man, I'm going to do this again and again and again. Yep. Because if you need to get over a relationship hurdle, got to figure out a way to resolve it and to do it and to commit to it, right? If you've got a personal hurdle like fitness, this is going to work. If you've got a business hurdle, like you need to get to the next level, you got to learn, what do people at the level above me, what do they do that I'm not doing? Learn, train, get the knowledge, then execute. I'm going to tell you guys, do not get stuck in the learning stage, right? Don't overanalyze. Pick 1 or 2. I gave you a maximum of 3, but pick 1 or 2 experts that you trust and stick to them. Go all in. So as an example, if you trust me on marketing and sales, my realtors out there, this is one of the wheelhouses. This is something I know best. Well, then go all in on the information I'm putting out there for you. Watch all of the office hours on YouTube. It's like a masterclass in getting started in real estate. Listen to the podcast. Don't start going down that YouTube rabbit hole or read 45 books from 13 different people, because they're all going to have different perspectives and they might work. You need to go all in on 1, 2, a maximum of 3, and then start executing. Start executing, track what you're doing, analyze that thing, and then boom, there's the payoff. Because you know what? Actually, Art, as I'm saying this out loud, we're going to have to change p squared to like p to the 4th power. And the reason is simple. I'm just thinking this as we go. It's really important. There's always a payoff. Because you're either going to profit, which means you're getting what you want, your business makes more money, you're healthier, you're happier, you're accomplishing your goal, you accomplished your goal, or you're on your way to accomplishing your goal, right? That's profit. Could be money, happiness, goals achieved. You got to pivot. But understand that the payoff could also be the very important lesson that you learn that will then increase your opportunity to succeed in the future. Man, I can't believe I forgot this part. And I didn't forget it. I guess I want to mention it here. So hopefully you guys are still hanging with me, because let me explain. You've seen it. You'll see it on social media. If you're entering the contest, by the way, on the Instagram, go find, you'll see, I say, it's either you win or you learn. And it's something that I've said my whole life, whether I was pursuing sports or business or relationships. The only thing you can do that's wrong is to make the same mistake twice. So everybody makes mistakes. So for instance, you do this whole process, you're like, Chris, I read a couple of books and I started executing, and then I looked at it and then it was a complete failure. It didn't work at all, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So then you're going to pivot, but then you're also going to learn, because you got to look back. What was it that didn't work? Why do I think it didn't work? Right? If it's like diet and exercise, hey, maybe it didn't work because my body responds differently to different types of foods or dieting. Maybe it's that. Maybe I wasn't working out hard enough, right? Or if I'm not getting results, the payoff is the lesson that, hey, in my market, people don't respond to traditional cold calling for real estate listings. I'm making something up, right? And the only way I would know that is 90 days. And I'm just saying, maybe your market, your niche, what you're trying to do, now you've learned. It's not that your efforts went without a payoff, because you learned a lesson, plus you skilled up. I think one of the biggest things people forget is you're practicing. And that's the P I'm trying to get to. You're practicing. You're practicing for whatever it is that's ultimately going to bring you to the next level. So you make thousands of phone calls and you don't get the payoff. That's practice. You're knocking on doors, you're not getting the payoff. That's practice. You're working out, diet, and exercise, you're not getting the results you want. That's practice and preparation for the big game. You're learning. And it takes time and it takes execution. There is no formula that's going to exist that doesn't require effort, and it's not going to require baby steps backwards at various stages before you go forward. Nobody simply goes in a straight line forward. I'm just looking here as we picked our review of the week, and I've got a clean lyrics rating on iTunes. So I'm really working hard to make sure I stay clean. I just want you guys to understand that all of this stuff is the process. So for me, that's why we call this the Chris Donaldson Project. And I want you guys to understand it's a project because the podcast is something new, a specific podcast that's centered around multiple different facets of things that we want to talk about. But I also want you guys to understand is I'm unfinished business. There's things that I'm trying to accomplish right now that I'm using my own method, and I'm analyzing numbers and I'm looking at results. I'm trying to figure out what's working, what isn't, constantly. I'm going to train. I'm going to learn. In a couple of weeks, I'll be flying out to go learn more and train with a high-performance expert at the highest level. I've been on a waiting list for this because guess what? I want to know what the best that are studying performance and the brain and the reactions, what they know. Guys, I'm not supposed to know everything. I'm going to go find the person that does. I'm going to learn from them. And guess what? I'm going to execute on whatever her advice is. For 90 days, I'm going to track it. Then I'm going to know that either I'm performing better, which would be the profit, or I'm going to pivot and go back and say, okay, expert, this didn't work. What else do we think? We're always doing it all the time. These 4 steps, LEAP, forward, forward, forward. I'm excited for y'all. Guys, if you have some success with this, by the way, please send us an email. Send me an email. It's project@thechrisdonaldson.com. Let us know, hey, I tried this. It's been 90 days. This is really working. I want to hear about your success. I want to celebrate it with you, give you call outs. I mean, that's what this is all about, man. There's enough negativity in the world. I've had enough. I'm not interested. What I am interested in is you. So follow the 4 steps. Do what I'm asking you. And then actually, we were talking about this before the show. So as we close up the show here, I've got one final announcement for the contest. So for some of you guys, you might be highly successful, and a gift card to get a book on Amazon is like, yeah, I don't need that. That's fine. But I still appreciate that it's 3 free steps, right? Just get involved with the email list. Get on iTunes and let us know that you're appreciating the show and what you think about it. And then share something that we're putting out on Instagram, because the most personal videos and images and things that I have are living on my Instagram. But what I'd like to do is announce that of all the contest winners, we're going to pick one. So if you do all 3 steps, I'm going to pick one. And we are going to invite you here to the podcast studio at Donaldson HQ. And we are going to record a podcast with you where I am going to walk you through, coach you through your own personal 4-step process to get unstuck to the next level, over the hump, whatever it is that you need to accomplish. So whatever it is that you are fighting, whatever it is that you want to get over, whatever it is that you're trying to move past business to get to the next level, one person. We're going to invite you here, and we're going to sit right here together. Look, here at the table, right here together, and I'm going to coach you through it. And so it's not going to cost you a thing. I'm looking forward to meeting somebody personally and spending time and working you through it. So if you haven't entered the contest yet, now there's a grand prize winner coming at a time to be determined, but within the next couple of weeks, we hope, next month or so. We'll have to look at all the schedules, and Art will help work with that. But the biggest thing is we're going to give away those, how many gift cards? 4? 5? 4, right. So $100 worth of gift cards. So enter to win, and then one grand prize winner is going to sit right here with me, and I'm going to coach you through the LEAP method so you can get to the next level. Because it's worked for me, it'll work for you, and I want to show you that regardless of the scenario, the process works. So thank you guys for listening. I will see you next time on the Chris Donaldson Project, and I'm excited because not only is the 4-step process something that I have put out there and am sharing with you, it has been a personal sort of discovery for me. So if it seems simple, it's because, simple works. But I'm also excited for the next series of episodes that we're going to have here on the project. We're going to do all sorts of things. You're going to get clips from live speeches. You're going to get pieces of office hours episodes from the past that you may find helpful, different episodes, some interviews. We're going to start bringing some folks in. So keep tabs, baby. Get on the email list. Be a part of the project here because we are just getting started. Thank you for listening. I'll see y'all next time. Audience, or my project listeners. It's the Chris Donaldson here. Thank you for listening to another episode all the way through of the Chris Donaldson Project. This is truly a passion project for me, and I hope it's helping you guys out. So again, as your call to action, make sure that you are joining the email list and you're getting involved in the community. It's not about spamming you. It's about developing relationships one by one, me and you, as we grow this project. You want to get in early before it gets crazy. So again, all you've got to do is text project to the number 444-999. Again, text project to 444-999. Join the email list, and I will see you guys on the next episode of the project.
Turn up, let's go.